So, you want to buy a home, or maybe you already found one that you love, but you're worried about the process and want to be sure that it closes on time. Because if it doesn't, that could create potential problems both with your schedule and potentially even financially. Hi, I'm Robert Webb, team leader of the Destination NJ Home Selling Team. I'm here to help you navigate all things real estate, specifically focused on helping our clients with buying, selling, and living in the heart of NJ, North and Central New Jersey. If you enjoy this type of content, please make sure you give this video a like. It helps get this video to more people that can use this information. Today, I want to go over 5 reasons why your home purchase might not close on time so that you can be better informed to take action and keep everything on track instead of getting delayed and potentially even having to pay out of pocket. The first reason why your home might not close on time would be not getting your documents into your lender in a timely manner. When your mortgage loan officer and their processor ask you for documentation such as bank statements, pay stubs, or anything else, they aren't doing it for fun. Their job is to take all of that information you and them have gone over together and then prove it with documentation to someone called an underwriter. The underwriter's job is to check off all of the boxes that they need to in order to comply with government regulations in order for them to fund your loan on time. So, if you either dilly-dally in getting documents over to your mortgage team or they dilly-dally with getting them to the underwriter, this can cause delays in getting the final approval for your loan. In addition, if the appraisal isn't ordered right away, then the appraiser cannot go out and start doing their work. They need about 7 to 10 days from the payment being issued to getting the full report back. And that is again going to put pressure on your timeline. So, moral of the story is that you are in full control of the speed in which you get documents over to your mortgage team. So the quicker you do that, the quicker and smoother your process is going to be. Next up, we have inspections. While the general home inspection that everyone knows about typically happens within the first 10 days of going under contract, there are times where additional inspections are required or at least highly encouraged once you get that first report back. The typical inspector that we all think about is a general home inspector, meaning that they are licensed by the state to look at and comment on a certain level of items. But what they will potentially do is call out some items that require a more thorough inspection with a qualified inspector in that field. Some common ones might be a level 2 chimney inspection, where the general home inspector will take a look up the chimney and they might identify a potential hazard. But a level 2 chimney inspector is going to run a camera all the way up that chimney and really see the nitty-gritty. Another example might be a structural issue in the basement where the inspector will call it out, but the next best step is to bring in a structural engineer to really diagnose and understand any potential issues. And obviously, the more time we spend in this phase and the closer we get to your contract closing date, well, you can see how this could potentially push back the closing. So really being swift on these inspections and getting them done thoroughly, but as early as possible, will lead to the best results for your closing date. Number 3 is the team that you are using. This mainly includes your realtor, your lender, and your attorney. Just because every realtor and lender is licensed does not make them all equal. There is a great deal of nuance in this business. And if you are choosing someone because they are the cheapest or they are the first person you met, you might be in for a world of pain down the road in terms of a less than professional timeline. Someone who charges less has to make up the profit on volume, which means each individual file gets less attention. A lot of the items can be solved by having professionals involved that keep your timeline moving along appropriately. Similarly, leveraging referrals within your team ensures that you get a team that knows each other and communicates well. We recently had an attorney that we don't normally work with refuse to give some information to our lender that is typically a very normal request. And not only does that create delay in your timeline, but it also requires more energy to be spent on basic communication rather than high-level problem solving for your purchase and keeping your purchase on track. Speaking of attorneys, the 4th reason your purchase might not close on time is a lax attorney not ordering title at the start of the transaction. By waiting, they're putting off a vital part of the closing and putting it on hold instead of just letting it go and moving as soon as possible. Depending on the complexity of title on that specific property, it can take multiple weeks for title to get clear and get that information back to the rest of your team. This greatly impacts your lender specifically, as one of their major conditions that they have to satisfy to the underwriter we spoke about before is clear title to the property. On top of that, the title company that the attorney contracts is responsible for balancing the final document with all of the numbers on it. So the sooner they get working on everything, the better it is for you. Just remember that even though it is typically the attorney that orders title, you as the consumer and the client are in control. Confirm with your attorney early to make sure title was ordered and know what company it was ordered with. While we here at the DNJ team ask for this information, as does our lender partner, the attorney is ultimately responsible to you, their client. And the sooner this is taken care of and communicated to your team, the more likely you are to hit that closing date. The last reason I want to highlight why you might not close on time is an uncooperative seller. This one is a bit out of everyone's control. You would think that if a seller made the decision to put their property on the market and is actively soliciting offers, well, they might be a little bit more motivated to actually, sell the property. But that is not always the case. For whatever reason, some sellers simply don't do what is required of them in a timely manner, and there is only so much that can be done. However, our best defense against this is to communicate with your realtor and your attorney. At the end of the day, a contract was signed and there are legal obligations involved, and that is where you and your attorney should be working closely to understand your rights within that contract and what your options are. Additionally, your realtor should be doing the job of speaking with the other side's representatives to understand what is going on. Finding out what is the sticking point can be vital to moving forward in an amicable manner. So again, really highlighting picking the right team with the right experience can be critical to your success. That's all I got for you. I hope this shed some light on the process and took some fear out of it. If you want to get started working with me and my team on buying or selling your home here in the heart of NJ, I want to invite you to click the first link down below in the description. We would love to have a chat with you about your needs, what you're looking for, and how we could help.